Hello. Hello, hello. It is good to, well, it's good. You guys can see me. I was going to say it's good to see all of you, but I can't see you. It's good to be here. And I'm glad that you guys are joining us me for today. So let's jump into the topic for today. It's dissolving body blues. What you do when you feel like you can't get back on track physically, or honestly, what you can't get back on track in general. So what ends up happening is that we start getting into a rut. But there's more to it than we just fall into a rut and then we're just there. There's other physical things that are happening that keep you in the space that you're in. So our subconscious, our body wants to keep us in the most familiar space possible. So when you start to slide into a space where you're used to not feeling great, if you're used to feeling like your body isn't doing what you want it to do, if you feel like you're more tired, if your digestive system isn't getting back on track, if you feel like you've done all the things, the body likes to default to what it's most familiar with. So even if you've gone through things before where you've lost weight, you've gotten back on track, you've felt better, if you don't shift the underlying reasons why you got back off track in the first place, the chances are higher that you're actually going to slide back into gaining weight, old patterns, getting back into a space where you just don't feel connected with your body. So we have to make sure you're breaking those underlying patterns, because even physiologically, your body will actually keep shooting off certain chemicals and certain reactions in the body as soon as it possibly can, if it was familiar for a long time, if you haven't broken the underlying connection to why your body was behaving that way. So if you're in a space right now where you're kind of feeling like, I don't understand what's going on with my body, I'm not feeling great, I can't seem to get back on track, I'm not feeling it, we want to start looking across the board at other spaces in your life. One of the things that I like to think about is, how can we snap out of it? And there are some things that you can do where you kind of like smack yourself and go, hey, okay, I got to get out of this. I want to change the paradigm, change the pattern. And a lot of times you need to kind of almost shock the system to do that. And we don't want to shock the system to the point where the system, rejects you or rejects what you're doing. And we don't want to do something so extreme that we hurt ourselves. But we do want to shock the system in the way where it completely changes the paradigm and the perspective and the environment that you are in, emotionally, mentally, and or physically. So one of the things that you can do, first of all, is just kind of look at the environment around you and ask yourself, what could I change quickly? One of the things that you may be able to change quickly is the type of person or the people you've been hanging around with, because often they are part of our pattern. And if they're in a space where they're not feeling great, or they're in a space where they're not changing things, we may get stuck in the energy of being with them too, because they're part of it. So whoever you're hanging out with the most, you're actually circulating and connecting with the vibration that they're in as well. So if you're hanging out with other people who are complaining and they're worried about the economy and they're all concerned about the election and they're all talking about this and they're in this kind of vibration of like fear or concern or any other vibration you don't want to be in, that's having an impact on you. So you want to snap yourself out of it by making sure you jump into a different group. Do something that you haven't done with people that you haven't done it with or haven't done it with in a while. Change the vibration of the energy that is around you as well. Because if you've ever walked into a room where somebody else comes in and they're upset and they're angry, it's very easy to also get sucked into that vibration, right? Or get triggered into an old feeling of trying to fix it for them or trying to dampen the situation so their energy isn't affecting you as much. But we fall into old patterns with that as well. So then you start falling into a pattern of fawning or feeling like you have to protect someone from themselves, or you have to protect yourself from them, or you have to be in a space where you fix it for them. So that alone can also suck the energy and the resources out of you that you need to make sure you're at a higher level yourself. So you really want to pay attention to, who am I hanging around? So if you're in a work environment and there's a lot of people at work who are in a space where they're really upset, hang out with some different people, go to a different place for lunch. Do something different. Don't get yourself, sucked into those conversations. Allow yourself to step out of them and recognize that their stuff isn't yours, but it's still having an effect on you. So really pay attention to the environment, the people that you're hanging out with. Another kind of snap yourself out of it kind of thing is to do something physical, like really literally jump up right now and like do something where you're jumping up and down and moving around really quickly. Dance really quickly, do something really fast, and then go back to whatever it was that you were working on. You will have a different literal physical vibration that is going on in your body. It shifts the brain chemistry, it changes the body chemistry, and it puts you into a different place. It can actually open up more creative centers. It can open up blocks. Or get the heck out of the environment you're in and go walk around the block, go walk around the building that you're in. Leave the environment. Even if it's just for 15 minutes, get out into the sun, do something different, because this changes the entire chemistry of the situation. A lot of us like to just double down, white knuckle through, keep pushing on. We feel like, well, if I leave for 15 minutes, I'm going to lose traction. No, you're actually losing traction by continuing to push yourself through whatever that environment is. So putting it down, shutting the laptop, walking outside. It changes the perspective. It literally changes what you're seeing. It changes what you're smelling. It changes your entire body's sensory experience, which changes your chemistry. You breathe differently, which tells the body, oh, something has changed. We can shift. This is okay. And I know I get myself into those situations too. Sometimes you've got a project, you're on a deadline, you have to get things done. You feel like you don't know where the time went. You thought the project was going to take less time than it's taking, and you get frustrated. That tells the body that you're not safe. So it sets off a series of chemistry that puts your body into a situation where it's in protect mode or it's in fight or flight. This will cause you to have digestive issues. It'll cause your digestive system actually to go on hiatus. It actually suppresses the digestive system. It suppresses your ability to manage hormone production, manage hormone balance, and puts you in a situation where your body's like, if we have to run or we have to protect ourselves, I don't want to spend resources on other unnecessary things in this immediate moment. I'm not saying digestion isn't important, but if you have to run from something attacking you, and that's the vibration that's going through your body, or you have to digest the lunch you just ate, your body is going to choose, push your resources over to all the energy I'm going to need to get away from this thing coming for me. So this will also cause you to put on, a lot of people either put on weight or drop weight too dramatically because it's trying to prep itself onto what's the most important thing for me right now. And if your body's putting on weight and you don't understand why, and you're in a situation where your body doesn't feel safe, it's bubble wrapping you, it's protecting you from the attack that is fearful of coming. So when you start to realize I need to step myself out of it, it's because it's going to help your body say, oh, this is not the environment I thought it was. Oh, the new perspective, the new paradigm, it's going to be okay. You also just need to look at, where's my pattern? What do I just need to do differently? Maybe you've been working out at night. Start working out in the morning. Maybe you haven't been working out at all. Just get yourself to the gym. Even if you just get to the gym, walk around, get back in the car and go home. You've changed the pattern, right? You're doing something different. And then while you're there, you're like, well, maybe I'll get on the elliptical. Maybe I'll start working out a little differently. And you start to get yourself into a pattern that serves you now, right? A lot of times breaking the pattern, the way to do it is to change the pattern and to do something different at that period of time. Maybe you change what time of the day that you eat. Maybe you change how you go to bed, the routine when you first get up. What happens? A lot of people get sucked into their social media. A lot of people get sucked into their phone the second they get out of bed. Change where you put your phone. Make it so you can't grab it so easily when you first get up. And maybe, I don't like even having my phone in the bedroom at all. My phone is plugged in 2 rooms over. If somebody really needs to get a hold of me, they will get a hold of me, but I don't like it in the bedroom because I would get sucked in too easily to it. It's too easy to pick up and then you see it and then you're like, oh, now I'm going to, answer this text, or it's just a minute. I'll do it quickly. And it's not how it happens. It changes your chemistry. It changes your focus. It changes what you're thinking about. You're being led by the phone. Create a routine where your phone isn't part of it, at least for the first half hour when you first get up. That is going to change a lot of the trajectory of how the rest of your day goes. But if the first thing you do is grab that phone, you are going to get so sucked in to a routine that's not going to serve you. On the iPhone, I know especially, there is actually a setting, which I didn't know until not that long ago. There's actually a setting where you can control who can get through on your phone and who can't. And there's like multiple settings for it. So I can make it a situation where, Anthony gets in where no one else gets in. So I have it set up that way where he can, the alert will come up on my phone if he's trying to get a hold of me. So when I go to the gym, it's my gym setting. No one else can get through when I'm at the gym. And I get in, I get out, I get that done because I know how critical that is for my healing and my health and my balance. When I am not at the gym frequently or not at the gym on a regular basis, I don't feel good mentally, emotionally, or physically. I also don't feel good when I'm not connected when I'm at the gym to what I'm doing. How many people do you see when they're at the gym that they're all over their phone, right? They're sitting there and they don't also realize how long they're sitting on a piece of equipment. They do, a set, then they turn around, they're on their phone, they're on there for like 20 minutes. They don't even realize it. I'm like, that's not helping your workout routine either. Get in, get focused on what you're doing, and get out. So start learning to use the settings that are on your phone, whether it's I know the iPhone does it because that's the one that I have. Guarantee the other phones have them too, where you can control the alerts that you're getting. Don't have everything letting you know that it's on and it needs to get a hold of you. Not everyone needs to get through. And if there's an emergency, they'll figure out a way to get around it. So deep breath on that one. So how can we change the pattern? How can we snap out of it? We have a client, two clients actually right now, who needed a super reset. Everything that they felt like they were doing, it wasn't getting them where they wanted to go. And so I said, okay, and this is a little bit more extreme, and I absolutely recommend you work with somebody if you don't do this on your own. But we had both of them go into 3-day water fasts. And there's a way to do that really well. There's a way to do that not so well. But once you've gone through 72 hours in a water fast situation, when you've done it right, it helps to reset your entire system. It's amazing. It resets your central nervous system. It helps to reset your immune system. It helps to reset your thought patterns. It helps to reset your connection. So for some of our clients, some of the time to help snap them out of it, and I kind of mean that mentally, emotionally, and physically, we will guide them through water fasts. And even a 24-hour water fast can be an incredibly helpful thing. Juice fasting, things like that. And it's not something that we do to fix all the problems. It's something to reset the system and then have a process, have a plan in place that we're not just doing this and it was just 3 days of what the experience is. What is the pattern or the structure of the strategy of what you're doing coming out of that? Because you want to keep the shifts, right? You want to lock them down. And I know a lot of people have told me they've done these things and then they go right back into the old patterns. There's a way to do this where it's really, even if it's a 3-day water fast, it's a 7-day process going into it and coming out of it. And then there's pieces that you want to continue along the way so that you keep the successes, keep the benefits, but it's kind of a snap you out of it experience. But you want to look at it as a long-term success story. And I hear people all the time, they're doing crash diets, they suddenly start some workout routine, they do something, and maybe they have a good experience. They go to a retreat, they go to an event, and they feel great during the event, and then they come back, go back to their real lives, and then they go right back into the old patterns. There should be something where you're planning out how to do that. So the snap you out of it routine isn't just 24 hours and it fixes it, or I do one thing and it's all better. We really still want to look at the underlying reasons that you were there in the first place. And a lot of the time you can't see those reasons on your own because you put them there in the first place to help protect yourself from seeing something else. A lot of our patterns were created to protect us from what we thought was dangerous or what we thought wasn't serving us. So that actually brings me to something that I want to alert you to that we just started talking about, that we just put out there, is that October 25th and 26th. So it's a Friday and Saturday. It's coming up. It's like 4 weeks from today. It's a full month from now. We're having an event in Scottsdale. So it's actually an in-person event. It's not going to be online. We're not recording it that you could get it later. You have to actually be there to experience. I'm doing a 2-day event called Recharge. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona. It is 2 full days. And the purpose of it is to help you in this, snap you out of it, get you recentered, pick you back up, and help you understand how to get out of the momentum that you're in that's not necessarily serving you, so that you can recharge, get the energy back, and not keep falling into the pattern that you're in. Because a lot of women, especially high-powered executive, get it done women, they so easily keep going and pushing that they don't realize they're actually in burnout or about to teeter over the edge into burnout. And burnout is like a legit diagnosis. In conventional medicine, you'll see it all the time. There's actually a diagnostic code for insurance companies for the diagnosis of burnout. It's an emotional space the body gets in, a physical space the body gets in, where there's just too much coming at you. You're overwhelmed. You've taken on too much. You don't know how to get out of it. And your body starts responding in a way where it's telling you, I can't do this anymore. But because we don't know how to get out of it, we don't know how to repattern ourselves, repattern our central nervous systems, we stay in it. And your body starts breaking down. This is where you start seeing thyroid disorder. This is where you start seeing digestive issues. This is where you start seeing fatigue you can't get out of. This is when you've slept and been in bed all night, but you're like dragging yourself out of bed and you don't feel refreshed. That's burnout. That's not okay. And it doesn't just go away on its own. But there is a way to recharge the body, reset the system, so that you come back around and you're not only in a space where you feel better, you're actually in a space where your body's on a trajectory of healing the damage that was actually done through that experience and building in a way so that you don't slide back into those old patterns. So we're doing this 2-day event. It's a limited event because we only have a certain amount of space in the location that we've decided to do this. And I want to keep it an intimate event so that you can have an immersive experience and really, really experience what it's like to shift these patterns and recharge your system. So we're doing this event. A lot of the tickets are already gone. I barely put it out there and the tickets just started flying off the shelf. So and I was at the event location yesterday and we were working out all the other details, and I'm so wildly excited about the details. So we're going to be feeding you too lunch on both days, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be healthy, and it's going to help you recharge, and it's going to be gluten-free and dairy-free and all the things that I see as to be most important to help support the body and its nutrition and nutritional needs. So recharge, it's for women who just don't have the luxury of burning out. If you don't have the time or resources to burn out, then this is the event for you. You want to keep hitting goals at a higher level, but your body's at the point where it's like you've gone too far and you've pushed too far. Or you're just like, I see it coming. I'm not going there. Not going to happen. This is the best event for you. So if you go to nourish123challenge.com, let me put this up for you. So it's nourish123challenge.com. All the details about the event are going to be there. It's only $97 for both days, including your lunch. I really wanted to make this as affordable as possible for women to get in there to really experience this, and then really be in this collective of women who really are in that same vibration, who are looking to move beyond this. They're not looking to stay stuck here. They don't want this to be their story. It's not part of their identity that they're going to just sit there all day and just say, well, my body isn't letting me do this, so I can't. They're not in a space where they want to own that identity. They want to go into a space where they're like, I'm up leveling. I've got the energy emotionally, mentally, and physically to do the visions of the goals of the things that I want to do, to live the life and experience life the way that I want to, and not have my body dictating how this is going to go. We want to work and flow with the body, how it works, and leverage its inherent brilliance so that you get the things that you need. There's a way to do that. And then there's a way to keep pushing. And a lot of, especially people in the United States, are really good, especially women, especially accomplished women. We're really good at continuing to press on, make everybody else's needs more important than ours, and our body breaks down. And then the conventional medicine and even some of the natural medicine will just tell you, well, that's what happens when you turn 40. Well, that's what just happens when perimenopause sets in. Well, that just happens when menopause has hit. No, menopause is hitting you harder because your body was already in a space where it was struggling. It's not working through and flowing through that period of time, that shift in life, that new phase. It can be the most brilliant phase, the wise woman phase, as I like to call it. It's known as the crone phase, which I find a little cringy. But you're moving from one phase into this third phase, which can be the most brilliant phase, but we're kind of like shoved off to the side at that point. It doesn't have to be that way. The energy and the focus and the freedom that phase can bring when you know how to work with the body and flow with the system can be magical. So I really want to talk about that. How do you stay on track? How do you keep flowing with your system? How do you really empower yourself and that feminine energy that runs through us and not crush it so your body is giving you all the feedback that it is struggling? So let's recharge. Let's do this together. I am so excited. Get your ticket before it is gone. And again, it is very limited space. So I want to make sure that you get this if you're really excited to do this. If you have additional questions that are not answered on the landing page of the nourish123challenge.com, you can always shoot an email over to support@nourish123.com. And we'll make sure we answer any questions. A lot of people have questions because they're flying in. The best airport to fly into is going to be the one in Tempe that is Sky Harbor International. It's PHX. And it's 15 minutes from the airport for where we're going to be for this event. I did a search, and there are 10 locations that are in walking distance that you could stay at for hotels and motels. And I didn't even check out Airbnb. But there's so many places to stay. And end of October, November are some of the most amazing times to be here in Arizona. The weather is phenomenal. So ask yourself, if not this, what? How am I going to handle this? What do I need to do? Come to this event. I designed it just for women who are ready to make this shift. So recharge. Women who are ready to reset their central nervous systems, reset their systems so they are on a different trajectory come 2025. Because this year, this 2025 and 2026 are going to be amazing years. And I want you to be at the capacity and the energy that you really need to really fully live and feel that freedom. So if you've got any other questions, you need anything else, you know where to find us. So true. So excited. But I will see you guys there. I'm so super excited to meet some of you in person that I've never actually gotten to meet in actual real life.